The moment you touch money, something magical should happen. It's not just a physical interaction with currency, it is the crossing of a threshold, a gateway to manifesting wealth, abundance, and prosperity into your life. Imagine every time you handle money, you can trigger a transformation in your world, a shift in consciousness that aligns you with the flow of limitless riches. What if I told you that the secret to multiplying your wealth lies not in working harder, but in working smarter, using the power of your own imagination? This is the key to unlocking the abundance that is already yours, waiting to manifest in your life. Let me show you how. Every time you touch money, affirm the greatness that you are. I am wealth. I am abundance. Money is an extension of my consciousness. You see, money is not something external that you chase after. It is a reflection of the internal state of your mind. You must first claim the wealth within you, the limitless potential that lies dormant in your imagination, and speak to it with the authority of one who knows their power. By declaring this truth, you are setting the stage for an avalanche of wealth to flow toward you. It's not about scarcity. It's about knowing that what you imagine with feeling is already here. To multiply wealth, you must embody the feeling of already possessing it. This is where many fail. They think of wealth as something they don't yet have, something that is out there and needs to be chased. But in the law of assumption, we understand that the feeling of the wish fulfilled is the true state of being that leads to manifestation. When you touch money, do not think of it as something you need more of, but rather as an expression of the abundance already present in your life. Feel gratitude for what you already have, and this feeling will grow, expand, and multiply your riches. What is the secret to wealth? It is not just the mental affirmation of, I am wealthy. It is the consistent emotional embodiment of it. When you touch money, ask yourself, how does it feel to be rich? How does it feel to know that I have all the wealth I could ever want or need? And then let that feeling fill your being. Let it vibrate through every cell in your body. This is not just thinking positively, this is living in the end where wealth is already yours. Every time you touch money, remember that you are living in the mental state of the wealthy. The wealthy do not struggle with money. They understand that money flows to them with ease. They do not worry about lack, for their mind is centered in abundance. This mental shift, this assumption of the feeling of already having what you desire, is the key to manifesting financial freedom. When you live in that state, you will see your external reality change to match it. By consistently affirming your wealth, by consistently embodying the emotions of prosperity, every time you touch money, you are programming your subconscious to create more of what you feel. Your world will reflect back to you exactly what you believe. If you believe that money is easy, it will be easy. If you believe that money flows effortlessly into your life, it will. And as you persist in this state, the universe will respond in kind, and your wealth will multiply beyond what you could have ever imagined. Every time you reach for your wallet, every time you count the money in your hands, you are holding the key to something far greater than just physical currency. Money, in its essence, is not just a medium of exchange or a tool to acquire things. It is a reflection of the energy you are projecting into the universe. What you believe about money and what you feel when you interact with it determines how much of it you attract into your life. The secret to multiplying wealth lies not in the physical world, but in the world of imagination and belief. What you hold in your mind with conviction and feeling, you will see reflected in your external circumstances. This is not just a theory, it is a law of the universe. Every time you touch money, you are called to remind yourself of the abundant nature of the universe. Most people, when they handle money, are consumed with thoughts of lack, thinking that they do not have enough, that they need more, that they are struggling to make ends meet. But this mindset is exactly what keeps wealth at a distance. It is a mindset of limitation, of scarcity, and it will only attract more of the same. You must change this thinking. You must break free from the belief that money is hard to come by or that it is something you have to constantly chase. Instead, see money as an expression of your own power. Money, like everything else in the world, is a reflection of the energy you are projecting into it. If you handle it with the belief that it is abundant, that it is flowing to you with ease, and that it is simply a tool to express your greatness, you will experience that very abundance in your life. Touching money is a reminder that wealth is already a part of your being, and the more you affirm this reality, the more it will be reflected back to you. Now, when you hold money in your hands, do not just see it as numbers on a bill or coins with no value beyond the market. Instead, feel the energy of it. Feel the gratitude for what you already have. Your current financial situation may not be ideal, but you are not concerned with the present. You are concerned with the future where wealth flows easily to you, where abundance is natural, where you are living in the state of having everything you need and more. Every time you touch money, remind yourself that this is not just paper, not just coins. This is the physical manifestation of the energy you are putting out into the world. And it is enough. It is more than enough. As you touch the money, visualize the wealth you desire. See yourself living the life of your dreams. See the opportunities flowing towards you. See the deals being made. See the investments paying off. Feel the joy of financial freedom, the relief of knowing that all your needs are met. Feel the excitement of knowing that you are now in the flow of abundance, and that money is simply one of the many ways the universe is rewarding you. When you align your thoughts and feelings with this image, you create an energetic frequency that attracts more wealth into your life. What happens when you touch money with this mindset? The answer is simple. The universe has no choice but to respond to your belief. Your belief in abundance, your belief in your worthiness, your belief that you deserve to have all that you desire will create the circumstances in your life to match that belief. But you must be consistent. You must be persistent. You cannot just think this way once and expect miracles to happen. No, you must live in this mindset daily. Every time you touch money, you must reaffirm your wealth, reaffirm your abundance, reaffirm your worthiness. Think of money as energy. It flows where it is welcomed. If you believe that money is always in short supply, that it is hard to come by, or that you are unworthy of it, that is the energy you are sending out into the world. But if you see money as abundant, if you welcome it into your life with open arms, if you treat it with respect and gratitude, the energy you send out will be returned to you multiplied. And this return is not just in the form of physical money, but in opportunities, in relationships, in investments that yield great returns. The energy you project toward money will attract exactly what you need to multiply your wealth. Money, like everything else, responds to the feeling you have when you interact with it. If you treat it with fear or anxiety, it will slip through your fingers. But if you treat it with love, with respect, with a sense of security and confidence, it will grow and multiply in your life. The more you touch money with the mindset that it is already abundant, the more you will see that abundance materialize in your reality. You must realize that money is not something that is out there to be sought or earned. It is something that is attracted to you through your state of being. What is your state of being when you touch money? Is it one of worry and lack, or is it one of gratitude and abundance? You must learn to approach money with a feeling of gratitude, as though you are already rich. When you handle money, do not focus on how little you have or how much you need. Instead, focus on the immense value that already exists in your life, the abundance that is already yours. Every dollar is a step closer to the realization that you are, in fact, wealthy beyond measure. And so, every time you touch money, let it be a reminder of the power you possess. Money is not your master, you are the master of money. You dictate the terms of your wealth by the thoughts and feelings you hold. The more you affirm your abundance, the more you will attract it. And as you continue to do so, the world will begin to reflect back to you the wealth you have so confidently assumed. This is the secret to multiplying wealth, becoming the embodiment of abundance in every moment, in every touch, and in every thought. Imagine for a moment that the money you touch is not just a representation of the work you've done or the hours you've spent earning it, but a mirror reflecting the internal state of your own mind. Every dollar, every coin, every bill is an outward expression of your internal reality, a direct reflection of the belief systems, the thoughts, and the emotions you hold about wealth. What does that say about you when you think about the money you have right now? Are you seeing it as a blessing, a tool that is flowing to you easily and abundantly? Or do you look at it with thoughts of scarcity, as if it is something you are constantly striving to hold on to, fearing that it may slip away? To multiply your wealth, you must first shift your perception of money. Money, in its truest sense, is a form of energy. Just like any other energy in the universe, it is attracted to the state you embody. When you embrace the feeling of already being wealthy, when you believe with absolute certainty that abundance is your natural state, that is when you begin to see wealth multiply in your life. The mistake that most people make is that they treat money as something outside of themselves, something that is in limited supply, something that must be worked for tirelessly. But money is simply a tool, a channel that reflects your inner state of abundance. Every time you touch money, you should remind yourself of this truth. Do not treat money as something you need to chase or strive for. Instead, treat it as something that is drawn to you by the magnetism of your own belief. The moment you begin to treat money as an extension of your own power, your own self-worth, you will start to see how easily it flows into your life. Wealth is not something you pursue in a desperate race. It is something you attract by living in the mental state of one who already has it. Think about the times when you have been truly at peace, when you have felt a sense of contentment and fulfillment in your life, regardless of your external circumstances. It is during these moments of inner calm and gratitude that you are most aligned with the flow of abundance. It is not in the moments of struggle, or of efforting, or of worrying about the next paycheck that you find wealth. It is in the moments when you surrender to the feeling of already having everything you need. When you touch money, whether it is a small amount or a large amount, hold it with the knowing that it is already yours, that it is already a part of your reality. You are not waiting for something outside of you to change. You are already living in the abundance that you seek. Every time you touch money, affirm to yourself, I am wealthy. I am abundant. Money flows to me effortlessly from expected and unexpected sources. As you repeat these words, don't just say them passively. Feel them. Immerse yourself in the experience of having already achieved the financial success you desire. It is not enough to simply say these words. You must feel them as truth. Feel the power of money in your hands, not as something you need to control, but as something that is naturally attracted to you, because you are in the state of abundance. As you align your thoughts with this feeling of abundance, you will notice how your reality begins to shift. The people, opportunities, and circumstances that were once outside of your reach will begin to gravitate toward you. Money is energy, and energy flows where it is most welcomed. When you welcome it with open arms, with a heart full of gratitude and confidence, you are sending out a signal to the universe that you are ready to receive more. And the universe will always respond in kind, bringing you exactly what you believe you deserve. The key to multiplying wealth is not found in striving or stressing over money, but in mastering the art of mental and emotional alignment. The thoughts and feelings you hold in your mind and heart about money are the blueprint for the money that will come to you. If you are constantly thinking about how little you have, how hard you have to work, or how much you lack, you are sending out an energy that repels wealth. But if you think thoughts of abundance, thoughts of already having all that you desire, you send out an energy that draws wealth to you with ease. The power lies in assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, the feeling of already having what you want. When you touch money, do not see it as something you have yet to acquire. See it as the proof, the evidence that you are already a wealthy person. Each time you hold money in your hands, take a moment to recognize the wealth that already exists in your life. Let go of the feeling that money is scarce or hard to come by. Instead, embrace the truth that you are a magnet for abundance. And as you continue to align your thoughts and emotions with this truth, you will see wealth multiply in your life. The secret is simple, yet powerful. Live in the state of having, not in the state of wanting. When you touch money, live in the feeling of already being financially free, already being abundant, already being wealthy. When you hold this feeling, You align yourself with the reality of wealth, and that reality begins to manifest before your eyes. You are not a passive observer of your life. You are the creator. And as you begin to create from the mindset of abundance, you will see the money flow to you from every direction. So, the next time you handle money, remember this money is not just a tool. It is an extension of the energy you project. When you touch it with the certainty that it is already a part of your life, and that more is always on its way. Know that you are worthy of wealth, worthy of abundance, and that money is simply an expression of the greatness that is already within you. By shifting your mindset and embodying the feeling of already having wealth, you will see your financial reality transform in ways you never thought possible. What if I told you that your wealth is not something you need to wait for or chase, but something you can begin experiencing right now? The key to multiplying wealth lies in one powerful idea: living in the end. What does that mean? It means that instead of waiting for the physical manifestation of your desires to show up, you assume the feeling of already having what you want. When you live in the end, you stop looking at your current circumstances as the determining factor of your future. You begin to feel the emotions, the joy, the excitement, and the satisfaction of already having your desires fulfilled. This is not wishful thinking. It is a powerful practice that can change the very fabric of your reality. Think about a time in your life when you were deeply content, when you felt fulfilled, as if everything was exactly as it should be. In that moment, you were not in pursuit of anything because you already felt complete. Wealth operates in the same way. If you are constantly focused on what you don't have, if you are constantly chasing after it, then you are creating a gap, a sense of lack, that pushes wealth further away. But when you embody the feeling of already having everything you desire, you close that gap, and wealth, like everything else in the universe, must respond to the energy of your belief. The first step to multiplying wealth is to recognize that your desires are already yours. You must no longer look at money as something outside of you, something you need to strive for. Instead, you must look at money as something that is already in your life, something that is simply waiting to manifest in greater and greater abundance. Every time you touch money, every time you see it, think of it not as something that is scarce, but as something that is part of your natural reality, flowing freely to you. The world of form reflects the world of feeling. And if you can feel abundant, if you can feel prosperous, you will see those feelings reflected back to you in your external reality. You may ask, but how can I feel abundant when I look at my bank account and it doesn't reflect the wealth I want? This is the trap most people fall into. They look at their present circumstances and they let those circumstances dictate how they feel. But this is exactly why they remain stuck in a cycle of limitation. The world of form is not the cause of your reality. It is simply the effect of your inner state of being. If you are waiting for your external world to change in order to feel wealthy, you will be waiting forever. The key to change is to feel wealthy first. Imagine living the life you dream of, the luxurious home, the freedom to do what you love, the financial independence. What does it feel like? How does it feel to know that you have all the money you need? To feel secure, to feel free, to feel abundant. This is the state you must live in. When you touch money, do not think of it as something you are lacking or striving to get. Instead, think of it as the physical evidence of the abundance that is already a part of your life. Each time you touch money, feel gratitude for it. Feel that sense of security and freedom, and embrace the idea that it is already yours. The more you can maintain this feeling, the more you will see your world begin to reflect it. The universe operates on laws that do not require time or space. They operate on your feelings and beliefs. So when you live in the end, when you feel the joy of already being wealthy, the universe moves in response to your state of being and begins to rearrange itself to bring your desires into form. This process is not about forcing things to happen. It is about allowing them to happen. When you live in the end, when you feel that your desires are already fulfilled, you are aligning with the natural flow of the universe, which is always abundant and always seeking to give you what you desire. Money is a natural part of that flow. It is simply a tool that can express the wealth and abundance of the universe. You do not have to fight for it. You do not have to chase it. You simply have to open yourself to the truth that it is already flowing toward you, that it is already part of your life. Think of a river. The water flows effortlessly, without hesitation, without struggle. It does not fight to reach its destination. It simply flows. Wealth is the same way. When you live in the end, when you embody the feeling of having all that you desire, wealth flows to you with ease. It is only when you resist it, when you doubt it, when you look at your current reality and think that it is not enough, that you create resistance. But if you can let go of that resistance, if you can surrender to the feeling of already having your desires fulfilled, you will see the flow of wealth increase in your life. Every time you touch money, think of it as a confirmation of the abundance that is already yours. Touch it with gratitude. Touch it with the knowing that it is already flowing to you effortlessly. Feel the emotions of financial freedom, security, and joy as though they are already present in your life. The more you align your thoughts and feelings with this state, the more you will see your circumstances change to match it. You are not waiting for wealth to show up. You are already living in the wealth you desire. And the more you live in this state, the more wealth you will see appear in your life. Living in the end is a constant practice, a continual reaffirmation of the truth that what you desire is already yours. The more you practice this, the more natural it will feel to be abundant, to be wealthy. And as this feeling grows stronger, the manifestation of wealth will grow stronger as well. The key is to never doubt, to never look outside of yourself for proof. The proof is in the feeling. When you feel wealthy, you are wealthy, and wealth will begin to materialize in your world in ways you never imagined possible. The world you experience is a direct result of the thoughts and feelings you consistently hold. Money, like everything else, is an extension of that energy. You are not a passive participant in your life. You are the creator of it. The world around you is simply reflecting back to you what you believe to be true about yourself, about life, and about wealth. If you want to multiply your wealth, you must first understand this profound truth. You are the one who sets the stage for the flow of abundance in your life. Money does not come to you by chance, nor does it come by luck. It comes because you are a magnet for it, because you have assumed the feeling of already being wealthy, already abundant, and already deserving of all the wealth the universe has to offer. When you touch money, you must treat it as an extension of yourself, an outward reflection of the internal state of abundance that you have cultivated. Most people look at money and see it as a separate, distant thing, something they must work hard to acquire, something they must chase after. But the truth is, money is simply energy, and energy follows thought. When you change your mindset, when you begin to see money as a reflection of your own energy and beliefs, you begin to see the world around you change. How do you see money? Is it something that is scarce or difficult to obtain? Or is it something that flows to you effortlessly, a natural byproduct of the abundant energy you are constantly projecting into the universe? If you see money as something that is scarce, something you have to fight for, that is exactly what you will experience. But if you can see money as a natural part of your life, something that is drawn to you because of the energy you are radiating, your experience with it will change. The key is to align yourself with the frequency of abundance, to see money as something that flows to you with ease, without resistance, and without effort. Every time you touch money, you must remind yourself that it is an expression of the abundance that is already present in your life. Money is not something you have to chase after. It is something that comes to you as a result of your inner state of being. When you live in the state of abundance, when you feel wealthy and secure, money will flow to you naturally. You will not have to force it. You will not have to worry about it. It will simply be there, in abundance, ready to be used in any way you desire. This shift in perspective is the key to multiplying wealth. If you want to attract more money into your life, you must first change the way you think about it. Stop seeing it as something you need to struggle for, or something that is difficult to obtain. Instead, see it as an energy that is attracted to you because of the vibrations you are emitting. Money is not something to fear, not something to hoard, not something to hold on to tightly. It is something to be used, something to be shared, something to be enjoyed. When you begin to approach money with this mindset, it will begin to multiply in your life. The next time you touch money, take a moment to feel the energy of it. Feel gratitude for what you already have, and feel the joy of knowing that more is on the way. Imagine how it feels to already be financially free, to already have all the money you need, to already be living in the abundance you desire. This is the key to manifesting more wealth. Live in the feeling of having it already. Don't wait for the physical manifestation to come before you feel wealthy. Feel wealthy now, and the universe will respond by bringing more wealth into your life. This is not about pretending or deceiving yourself into believing something that isn't true. It is about aligning yourself with the truth of your own power. You are the creator of your reality. What you think and feel on a consistent basis will become your experience. If you can feel the joy of financial freedom now, if you can feel the excitement of having all the money you need right now, then you are setting the stage for more money to flow into your life. The more you practice this, the more natural it will feel to be abundant, and the more abundance you will see in your life. Money, like any other form of energy, is not something you need to chase or force. It is something that will come to you when you align yourself with it. This alignment begins in the mind. It begins with the thoughts you think, the feelings you have, and the beliefs you hold. If you believe that money is hard to come by, that it is scarce, that it is something you have to struggle for, then that is what you will continue to experience. But if you change your belief, if you begin to believe that money flows easily to you, that you are worthy of all the wealth the universe has to offer, you will begin to see a shift in your reality. This shift is not just about changing your thoughts. It is about changing your state of being. It is about living in the feeling of abundance, living in the feeling of already having everything you desire. When you live in that state, when you truly believe that money is just another form of energy that is naturally attracted to you, wealth will flow to you effortlessly. So every time you touch money, remember it is not separate from you. It is not something you have to chase or strive for. It is simply a reflection of your own energy. When you align yourself with the energy of abundance, when you live in the feeling of already being wealthy, money will come to you with ease. You will not have to force it. You will not have to struggle for it. It will simply be there, ready to be used in any way you desire. When you begin to look at wealth as an energy that is attracted to you, and not as something you have to work tirelessly to obtain, you enter into a new relationship with money. This new relationship requires that you treat money as something you are already in the flow of, rather than something you are desperately trying to get. Imagine for a moment that money is not a limited resource, but an abundant one, just like the air you breathe or the water that flows through a river. Just as you don't have to chase after air or water, you don't have to chase after money. It is simply there, ready to flow to you when you align with its frequency. Think of money as a magnet. It is drawn to you by the power of your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. The stronger your belief in your own worthiness, the more you naturally attract wealth into your life. This is not about wanting or wishing for money. It is about knowing that it is already on its way to you, because you have shifted your consciousness to the level of abundance. You no longer see yourself as someone who needs to strive for wealth, but as someone who is simply a magnet for it. You are already wealthy, and money flows to you as a natural expression of that wealth. The moment you embrace this new mindset, the moment you stop seeing money as something you need to chase, you begin to see the world around you change. Opportunities will start appearing where once there were none. People will show up who can help you achieve your goals, and you will find that the flow of money begins to increase. But the key here is consistency. You cannot simply think about wealth when you're handling money and then forget about it the rest of the time. To truly manifest wealth, you must embody this new state of being at all times. It is not enough to think wealthy thoughts when you touch money. You must feel wealthy in every moment. Feel the abundance that is already present in your life. Feel the excitement of knowing that you are financially free, that you have all the money you need, and that wealth is flowing to you effortlessly. When you live in that feeling, when you embrace it fully, you are sending out a signal to the universe that you are ready to receive more. And as you continue to live in that energy, the world will begin to reflect that abundance back to you in the form of money, opportunities, and financial freedom. Wealth is not something that is far off in the future. It is something that exists right now, waiting for you to align with it. When you stop looking at your current situation as the determining factor of your wealth, and instead begin to feel the reality of already being wealthy, you will notice how quickly your circumstances begin to shift. The key is to stop waiting for the future and start living as though the future has already arrived. Live in the feeling of abundance today, and the wealth you desire will manifest tomorrow. This is where many people get stuck. They look at their bank account, their job, their investments, and they think, I'm not there yet. I still have so much further to go. But this way of thinking keeps them stuck in the illusion of scarcity. The truth is, your wealth has already arrived. It is simply waiting for you to align with it. When you shift your mindset, when you stop seeing yourself as lacking, you stop pushing wealth away and start pulling it toward you. Wealth does not come from striving. It comes from aligning with the truth of who you are, which is abundant, limitless, and deserving of everything the universe has to offer. When you live in the state of abundance, when you feel wealthy in every moment, you become an unstoppable force. Money is no longer something you have to work hard for. It becomes something that flows to you with ease, just as easily as air flows into your lungs. Every time you touch money, remember that it is simply a physical manifestation of the abundance that already exists within you. It is a reflection of your inner state. If you want more money, you must first be more aligned with the feeling of abundance. The more you align with that feeling, the more money will flow into your life. This is not just about thinking positive thoughts. It is about living in the feeling of having what you want, knowing that it is already yours. Money flows effortlessly when you stop resisting it. The resistance comes from the belief that money is scarce, that you have to work hard for it, or that it is something you are not worthy of. But when you let go of these limiting beliefs, when you fully embrace the idea that wealth is natural and abundant, money will begin to flow into your life with ease. You will find that opportunities appear where once there were none, that your income increases, and that you begin to attract the kind of wealth you once thought was impossible. So every time you touch money, take a moment to feel the gratitude for it. Feel the security, the freedom, the abundance that it represents. And as you do, know that more is on its way. The universe does not work on a linear timeline. It works in response to the energy you are putting out. The more you live in the state of abundance, the more you will see that abundance reflected in your life. You are already wealthy. You just need to embrace that truth and allow it to manifest. Money is not something that is far away, something you have to chase. It is already a part of your life, and as you align with it, you will see it increase. Let go of the struggle. Let go of the need to force things to happen, and simply allow wealth to flow to you naturally. When you do, you will be amazed at how quickly your financial situation changes and how effortlessly money comes into your life. There is a truth that can change the entire course of your financial life, and it's this: money, like everything else, is a reflection of the inner state you maintain. Every single dollar that comes into your life, every financial opportunity, every moment of wealth that you experience, begins with the state of your mind. This is the secret to multiplying wealth. Wealth is not something that you wait for, not something you strive for or force into your life. It is something that flows effortlessly to you when you live in the state of already having it. When you assume the feeling of abundance, when you assume the feeling of financial security and freedom, you set in motion the process of attracting more wealth into your life. Every time you touch money, every time you handle a dollar, see it as a symbol of the abundance that already exists in your life. When you embrace the belief that you are already wealthy, you begin to magnetize more wealth to you. This isn't wishful thinking, it's a law of the universe. The energy you emit, the thoughts, the feelings, and the beliefs you hold determines the reality that you will experience. If you want to multiply your wealth, you must first recognize that the key to attracting more money is living in the state of already having it. The more you embody the feeling of abundance, the more wealth will flow to you from both expected and unexpected sources. But how do you embody that feeling of abundance, especially when it seems like your current circumstances tell a different story? This is where most people get caught up. They think that their reality is fixed, that their bank account, their job, their circumstances are the things that determine how much money they can make. But this is a misunderstanding of how the universe works. Your external circumstances are simply the reflection of the beliefs you hold about yourself and about the world around you. If you believe that wealth is difficult to attain, that it is something that requires constant struggle, that is what you will experience. But if you can shift your mindset, if you can begin to see money as an extension of your own energy, something that is naturally drawn to you because of the abundance you already possess, your external world will begin to change to match your new belief. Every time you touch money, think of it as a representation of the wealth you are attracting into your life. Imagine, if you will, that the money you are handling is not just paper or coins, but a physical manifestation of your inner abundance. Feel the energy of it as it moves through your fingers. Feel gratitude for it, knowing that more is on its way. The act of handling money should not be a moment of stress or worry, but a reminder that wealth is already present in your life. This feeling of gratitude, of knowing that you are worthy of the wealth you desire, is the key to attracting more. The universe operates on energy, and when you feel grateful for what you have, you signal to the universe that you are ready for more. This is the key to multiplying wealth, to live in the feeling of abundance, not in the feeling of lack. When you look at money, do not see it as something that is hard to come by, something that you have to fight for. Instead, see it as something that is naturally drawn to you, something that flows effortlessly into your life, because you are aligned with it. When you change your perception of money, when you begin to believe that it is a natural part of your life, the flow of wealth will increase. You will begin to see opportunities that you never noticed before. People will come into your life who can help you achieve your goals. And most importantly, money will begin to flow to you from unexpected sources, simply because you are now aligned with the energy of abundance. But this alignment requires consistent practice. You must continue to reinforce the belief that you are worthy of wealth, that wealth is already a part of your life, that money is an energy that flows to you easily. Every time you touch money, reinforce this belief. See the money in your hand as a symbol of your natural state of abundance. Let go of the old story that money is hard to come by or that it requires constant effort to attain. Instead, see yourself as someone who naturally attracts wealth, someone who is worthy of all the abundance the universe has to offer. The more you embody this feeling of abundance, the more your reality will shift to reflect it. The key is to live in the end where wealth is already yours, where you already have everything you need. When you live in this state, you stop chasing after wealth. You stop thinking that wealth is something that is out of reach. Instead, you begin to attract it effortlessly. Money is simply a reflection of the energy you are putting out. If you are living in the feeling of already being wealthy, the universe will respond by bringing more wealth into your life. The more you live in the feeling of abundance, the more wealth will come to you, and the more opportunities will appear. It is important to realize that you do not need to wait for your external reality to change before you begin feeling abundant. The change begins with you. The more you feel abundant, the more you will see that abundance reflected back to you. It is not the amount of money in your bank account that determines your wealth. It is the way you think about money, the way you feel about it, and the way you allow it to flow into your life. Every time you touch money, treat it as a reminder that you are already wealthy. Feel the joy of financial freedom, the excitement of knowing that you are deserving of all the wealth that the universe has to offer. As you continue to live in this feeling, You will begin to see your financial reality transform in ways you never thought possible. You will no longer have to chase money. It will come to you effortlessly, simply because you are aligned with it. And the more you embody this feeling of abundance, the more wealth will multiply in your life. In the end, the secret to multiplying wealth lies not in the external world, but in the inner world of your thoughts, beliefs, and feelings. The money you handle, the opportunities you encounter, and the success you achieve are all reflections of the energy you are projecting. When you align yourself with the state of abundance, when you live as though your desires have already been fulfilled, you begin to magnetize wealth effortlessly into your life. Every time you touch money, remind yourself that wealth is not something you have to chase, it is something you are worthy of, something that flows naturally to you. Treat money with respect, gratitude, and the belief that it is simply a manifestation of the abundance that already exists within you. As you embody the feeling of already being wealthy, the universe will respond by bringing you more of what you feel and believe. Remember, wealth is not a future event. It is a present reality waiting for you to claim it. By shifting your mindset, aligning your emotions, and living in the state of already having everything you desire, you unlock the flow of limitless abundance. Your thoughts and feelings shape your reality, and when you consciously choose to embrace the feeling of prosperity, the world will reflect that back to you in ways you can't yet imagine. So, go forward with this truth: you are already wealthy. Live in that knowledge, and watch as the wealth you desire multiplies effortlessly in your life.